Hello, Armwrestling fans. Today we have a guest, a friend of mine. I guess I can still say that, Roman Gamtinadze. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, hello. Definitely, you can still say that. Of course, there've been some complications, but not all the friendships are perfect, right? So I don't think if there's any friendship
Yeah.
perfect, but yeah, for sure, I can call you in my mind, my friend. We know each other since a long time. Most likely, many of the watchers who are viewing us and who are watching right now, not don't even know me. I'm so long have not been your guest, and since then many waters have been passed. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I've been on your show several times already, and every time I'm here, I enjoy myself and looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah.
And I
So,
I
uh,
also say hi to your viewers.
so I remember I wrote a comment about you, or I should say against you, on Tom's video, and then a couple of days later, or maybe a day later, I deleted it. It was about you messaging me whenever I say something against Engin or against Georgian arm wrestlers. You definitely do that, but the way I wrote it, it sounded like you say it in a aggressive or disrespectful way. But I just wanted to make it clear, you say that in the most respectful manner possible. You just ask questions. You don't say what I said was wrong or right. You ask why I said that. So in a very respectful manner. That was incorrect on my part. That's why I deleted that comment. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thank you for letting
Yeah.
me know, because really I saw that comment once. I know exactly which comment you mean. I saw
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comment once. I immediately messaged you. I'm sure you know the that I related to that message, but since then I did not really watch that anymore. And good to know that you changed your mind towards to that comment. So
Yeah,
I'm happy to
because
hear.
I remembered that you have always I disagree with many things that you say, but you have always been very respectful, not just to me, but I've never seen you talking in a disrespectful manner with anyone.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
letting also your fans know that I will try my best to be respectful. I have
I
always
do I
been.
don't have any fans, brother. I have just viewers. I'm not a world champion arm
You
wrestlers.
should
How
be.
can I
You
have
should
any
be.
fans? Yeah.
Come on,
So
guys.
so the thing is, now let's the soft part of the interview is over. Now let's get to the tough part. When did you
So,
first think about being an organizer, being an owner of a league? Like, when did this idea first hit your mind?
well, it goes way back than me becoming the part of the Eve organization as itself. Like, even if I was not, I was only like a video editor. Thanks to you, by the way. I will let your fans and your viewers know that it was, guys, it was basically I'll give the credit to Pradeep. It was him who recommended my name to Engin Terzi to translate several interviews. And then why did he do that? What I think he did was that first interview I have ever translated for the arm wrestling community was on Pradeep's show when we had Rivaz Lutidze.
And I think it
It
was
was
Revaz
like,
Lutidze's first interview as well. I don't think anyone
yes,
interviewed him
yes,
before
yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes, you pioneered there, and I was like helping you to communicate with him. And it was like maybe 3 years ago already, or four. I really don't remember, but it was really long time ago. And since then, I will take off my glasses because all I see is a reflection of my screen, and I don't like when I talk to someone and all I see is glasses. So I will just respect you to see my eyes directly. So since then started my translation career, so to say, which was totally unexpected. I just did my friend a favor, my friend Pradeep, and then he recommended my name to Engin. Then Engin years ago already messaged me, and then I started to translate for his visitors, his YouTube channel guests as well. And then at some point, I decided myself. It was August 2022 August, when I went to East versus West 4. It was East versus West 4, August 6th. I did my own expenses. I paid for everything for myself. I just went there because they were really struggling for translating Georgian athletes, and I love Georgian athletes. And I'm sure, brother, you know that I've been very patriotic, especially in the past. Whenever Georgian athletes were under the heavy critics, I was the first one who tried to bounce back on those commentators and haters of Georgians. So I just went there in order to translate for Georgian athletes. That was my pure intention. And since then, my, so to say, relationship with East versus West started. So it was August 2022. And then several times I was on their events as well, but as a translator and video editor. Like, I slowly started. And then I would say after 1 year of me being in organization, I kind of decided to have my own, I developed my own visions. I was like giving advices to Engin. I was saying, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? I was giving some suggestions, to which many he heard. He would hear me out, but he would not, like, how can I say, allow everything that I was suggesting, right? He would just consider, for example, free live stream that we did alongside with the events. Like, there were pay-per-view events, and we were doing behind the scenes free live stream for the viewers to just, communicate whilst watching pay-per-view and see what's going on behind the scenes. Let's say Devon is pulling someone, what's going on in the crowd, whose reaction is, how professional athletes, how they react and stuff. This was my suggestion, and it came because of I had my own visions of organizing events. So I would say it kind of a long answer, but I think I answered it properly and basically. So it started around 2023 that I had visions of my own organization.
But it's difficult to believe, brother, because you have been on Engin's show, on other shows multiple times. I may be wrong, but as per me, you have never mentioned any such intentions ever. Like, how is it possible if you were thinking about it and you never talked about it? So that's why it's difficult to believe.
So you were saying that it's difficult to believe that I suggested him to do behind the scenes live stream? What specifically?
No. It's difficult to believe that you started thinking about organizing events yourself, or maybe in the future thinking about creating your own
because
league
I have
in
never mentioned
2020.
it publicly.
Yeah.
There are many things I have never mentioned it publicly. What I would say, and maybe you even agree, maybe not, is that I have never been a fan of show myself publicly and what I do. I was more like a behind the scene worker guy, just like Saul Aaron, who is still till today a very good graphics designer for East versus West. Not many people know him, that it's his job and he's been doing this, but he's behind the scenes and he's doing also web developments for East versus West, or at least what I know. So he's the guy who is doing the work behind the scenes and doesn't want himself to be publicly acknowledged, and I somehow correlate myself to it. That's how I have never showed outside of my personal audience on my own YouTube channel. I've never said that, hey, other YouTube channels, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I remember hardly anything, it was like Coach Ray maybe 1 year ago finally said that I'm doing many things behind the scenes. The video is still on East versus West channel. It was last year summer, I believe. Yeah, so I agree. I'm not agreeing, but I understand what you mean, that it's hard to believe, because I not myself acknowledge.
You can agree to. You can agree to if you want. Don't pressurize yourself. You can agree with me if you want, if you have to.
I don't know if it's a correct word to agree. Is there any disagreement to agree or disagree? I think what you said is understandable. That's what I can say. Yeah. I agree on terms of if there's something to be agreed on. What you said, that I would agree that it's hard to believe, because I know myself. I have never tried to push my ideas over the social media that much.
And also about it's kind of personal thing, maybe I shouldn't mention it here, but that thing clicked my mind, so I'm going to speak about it. You defending the Georgians stuff, you also mentioned something like that a couple of minutes ago.
Patriotic, yeah.
Patriotism, I kind of disagree with it, and I'm not just saying this about you. I speak like this about all of the Indians which I see on the internet. Brother, you have been living outside of your country for a job, for whatever reason, for many years. Like, you're not even Georgian anymore, if my beliefs are considered. That's what I say about Indians. Like, once you've been living in other country in America or wherever for like 5, 6, 7 years, Like don't defend India, don't criticize India, don't speak about it. That's my belief. So are you really Georgian anymore?
Well, I mean, if me and you were not friends, I would be offended by that one because I believe
You
patriot
can, I mean, you can still
guy
be
is
offended.
patriot.
I don't mind that too much.
Yes, yes.
We can still be
Okay.
friends, even if I offend you.
Yeah, we can still be friends. The thing is, with the way I see patriotism is that it disregards the fact wherever I'm located physically. We all have souls, and our souls is metaphysical. So if I find something inside my characteristics, it cannot be changed or deleted if I live physically somewhere else. So I'm patriot in USA, in Germany, in Australia, and in Georgia. So I always will defend patriotically what I'm supposed to defend, even if I'm not in Georgia. So that's my approach to it.
Sometimes I call myself a patriot and people ask me how, like, what did you do? And I was like, I'm working on YouTube. They're like, what do you mean? I'm bringing US currency into my country and spending it here. I'm the true patriot. I'm the true patriot. Yes, I'm working for like YouTube, you can say that, but most of like there are many Indian YouTubers, but their channel is in Hindi, so most of the audience is from India, and they get shown ads from the companies which are in India, so it's just the Indian money circulating within the country. But when you have international viewers, that's when you're bringing in the international money into your
International.
country. So yeah, that way I'm a patriot. A super chat from Mark with 18 dirhams. I've always
Oh,
liked you,
my.
Roman. Love Georgia, but I cannot be a part of anything that Engin is a part of.
Hey, Mark, I personally will never forget how active you were on my own YouTube channel as well. Anytime I was live, basically almost every time you were there, even though I wasn't live that much, that often. And also, I remember you offered me whenever I come to KOTT in Dubai, I could just hit you up and stuff. Like you were a good, really online friend because we never met each other personally, but I consider you as a friend. Um, I understand your comments. I cannot say this enough times in the world. I think even if Engin passes away, like decades later, maybe there will be still some people saying that Engin has to do something with my organization. Because if there is a guy who has something in mind and doesn't want to accept anything else, like I cannot change the guy's mind. I appreciate Mark you, and I appreciate that you are watching right now, but all I can say is that Engin has nothing to do with my organization. It's Gennady's organization because he's CEO and I'm COO, like in international. Like he's general director, and in Georgia it's called general director, and then there's a deputy general director who would be me, who would translate to COO. So we are only two, and if you don't want to believe what I'm saying, then you should not be asking me a question to answer it because you are wasting both of our time. Yeah, I can just repeat myself nonstop, but I don't think this live stream would be enjoyable to watch. I cannot hear you. You are muted.
So first of all, I'm not totally ready to believe, to be honest, that you are the real owner of GVW. But let's say you are. Let's say you are.
I can
Then
send you the
Did you start this
document.
trying to like as a revenge against East versus West, because you said you've been thinking about this idea since 2022, and yet no mention of it until East versus West fell apart, until Engin was removed from East versus West, and then suddenly after that, here is Roman with a new league that he never publicly talked about ever. That I am assuming you didn't talk about with the athletes to confirm some of the matches before East versus West fell apart. So was this league started as a revenge against East versus West?
Very very necessary question, I would say. Let me clear up. I think maybe I did not really put it in a correct way beforehand. I in 2022 did not start my ideas of having my own organization. I said that in my head kicked in the ideas as an organizer's perspective. Let's say, why don't we implement this to this specific event? Why don't we do this like from organizer's perspective? I did not want to have my own organization back then. I had my own ideas and my approaches. Some of them were approved, some of them were not approved. It was not my organization, so I could not decide everything for me, right? So ideas were there, and till today there are some things that I don't like with East versus West. For example, I always like tried to pressure Engin, even though it's hard to pressure him as a guy who works with him, and I think I'm the guy who worked with him in the past, like the longest amount of time. Maybe there are several other people. So I know Engin and how to work with him, but one thing I still don't like with East versus West, maybe they will change it, is VR system. Like I hated how people could not even clearly, as a viewers, pay-per-view viewers, were watching our events. Like I still call it our because I was a staff member of East versus West. They were watching and they were not getting clear idea of what was the foul, was it a pin, was it not a pin, and VR system, VAR, video assisted referee, was non-existent basically. And this is one of several other things that I did not like about East versus West. I told Engin, hey, we should change this, we should do something about it, but somehow it's like hard to follow, I guess, all the details. I don't know. But in my own organization, I can do whatever I want, and I think would please the viewers. So yeah, I just never came out publicly and said that, hey, if I were organizer of East versus West, this is what I would do, this is what I would do, because I never pushed the idea to the East versus West viewers, to my viewers. So I understand that people could not see this coming. I understand. To answer your question, sorry, I'm taking too long, but I
People,
love.
a little disrespectful chat, but people are not happy with your long answers. No, no,
Okay,
not not this one. But wait a second, wait a
okay,
second. That's the chat. Just answer the fucking question.
okay. I will try to keep it short. Um, so no, it was not revenge. It was more like um, pushing my own beliefs into the action. I always wanted to have these things, and now I have an opportunity. I'm not responsible for East versus West anymore, and I think I can do what I believe is good for the community in my own way. So it's not a revenge; it's more like a show my own approach.
Okay, so let me try to ask you this question. I want to corner you, to be honest, with these questions,
Okay.
but these are important questions. Let me ask it in a different way. If nothing happened, nothing changed, East versus West still was as it was 3 months ago. None of the athletes announced that they were quitting. Engin was still the owner. Everything was working as it was working. Let's say a year ago. In that case, you will not start. You and Gennady will not start GVW Sports, right? Am I correct?
I would not do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have done this what I'm doing now. I cannot
So
speak on Gennady's behalf, but I would not be part of this what I'm part of right now.
So
Because
then
I would say
it
this
is
out loud.
started because of East versus West. We can say that. Maybe not
I
against it,
just
but because
Yeah,
of East versus West.
yes, could be so because I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but I will because I have to right now. It was not a revenge. It was I was away from East versus West responsibilities anymore. I did not have to put my own resources and my time for East versus West. I was free from the responsibility, and I was still willing to actively make a good and positive effect on the community and the sport, because that's the whole purpose. I was with East versus West. I wanted to deliver as good and as many things as possible for the sport. And now I am free of East versus West, so I channel my responsibilities towards my own direction, which is not East versus West. So yes, because of I'm not in East versus West now, I am in GBW, but it's not in revenge.
So
And so sorry to double down on this. I can, for the records, I can say that back in December last year, it was when me and Dexter started to get to know each other more. We had many phone calls, and at the beginning, he was a really cool guy towards me, and I think I was also towards him because I've heard from other athletes how he always said that I am very good asset for East versus West. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to say that at the beginning of me and Dexter's relationship, like professional East versus West related things, he was. I told him that, hey, Dexter, he knows that I had the medicine background, and this is the reason why I'm in Germany right now. So he said, "Hey Roman, how come you are in medicine and you are also in arm wrestling?" And I said, uh, if I see myself like 20 years from now when I'm 60 or something, I don't see myself doing surgeries, but I would definitely see myself helping arm wrestling community, and I would love to do what I'm doing now for East versus West. And that was purely coming from my heart. I wanted to continue what I was doing inside of East versus West because I thought that East versus West was doing the best for the sport back then. Yeah.
So, are you doing a job over there? In which country you are, and or are you studying there?
Yeah, well, actually, today is like 4th of September, so it's been 4 days already that I'm not employed in Germany anymore, and I will be soon flying back to my country. I just finished,
So,
and the reason why I finished, in Germany it is like you have to in 3 months in advance. You have most of the cases. There are some exceptions, but 3 months in advance you have to tell your employer that you are quitting, like you quit your job in 3 months ahead, and if you calculate, it was way like around month before this drama started, around month before Levan and the Hermes match happened. And already that time, I told Robert, I told Dexter, hey, I'm quitting the sport, not sport. I'm quitting the my job in Germany to help this versus West and become full timer there. So I had this coming, and now I will be fully investigating uh, my own arm wrestling journey.
since you mentioned Dexter, that you said that he was cool with you in the beginning. The day Dexter told you that you are no longer working with East versus West, were
He's the
you
one. Mhm.
were you in the was GVW Sports in the making before that day or after that day?
In the making, from my side, it was after. Like when I told Gennady that I had the intentions, it was after. When I talked to Gennady, it was after that. Maybe
So
he was having also, and when I talked to Gennady, he had the same idea. I've been thinking to do our own, my own organization. This is what Gennady told me. His own
so
organization.
okay,
He
okay.
had
So
said this.
initially you presented this idea to Gennady.
From my side, yeah, between me and Gennady, it was I who mentioned this, and he said that, oh, Roman, yeah, I also wanted to do this also.
Then it is clearly a revenge, brother. How can you say it isn't? Because Dexter fired you, and the next day you started GVW Sports, which is kind of, let's be honest, a rival organization of East versus West. Then how can you say that it's not a revengeful action from your side?
I would ask you, after I answer that question, I would ask you to define a rival. Uh, it was not a revenge. Like I said, I got free from East versus West, and I still wanted to help our Muslim community. So where else, or what else do I do? Should I go to Knuckles Up? Should I go to the AMC, or should I go to MAC, or many other leagues there are? No, I just decided to do what I can do the best when I'm already in my country. Because, like I said, I already knew I was going in my country. So, and define the rival. Why do you think that organization is a rival? Like, what are we doing against them? Just define it, please.
Because of the timing, the first thing is when you started the league, because
How does it
some of
harm it? How
because
does
some
it
of the,
harm East versus West?
how does it harm? Because at the time, the athletes that they were quitting, they were saying, the athletes that were saying that we are not going to compete at East versus West, those were the athletes that were contacted by you, by Gennady, to compete in your league. Zaur Pezulaev, I'm talking
I
about.
don't, I
And,
don't,
and, and, and
I don't know 27 guys. I don't know who are there. I don't know
but
the names. I know that, like you said, Zhao. Now I know that he was. I'm using like I don't know the information. He was in 27 guys, but athletes to whom we are contacting, the first question we ask: Are
don't
you
again
contacted by
again
East Versus
again,
West?
brother. I know the name of, I'm not even talking with Engin since many days. I know the names of 27 athletes. Don't lie to me that you don't know about that. Of course you
I
know,
don't know.
and
I
I
don't
know
know.
that you know that.
I don't know.
You know that. You're
How do I
lying.
know?
You're lying.
How would
You're
I know?
lying.
No.
I don't want to
Well, I'm
talk
saying
about our private messages here, but you knew what was going on. Let's just end it at that. So don't
I knew
lie to
what
me
was
that you
going.
don't, you didn't know.
I knew what was going on,
You
but
knew you
I
knew
had no
before those
idea.
athletes were quitting. You knew that the athletes are going to quit before they were quitting.
Yes, but I didn't know who. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know who.
Come on, man. Come on.
Like I
No.
had no idea if it was 27, 26, 28, 30, or only five guys. I didn't know that. I don't know the list. I haven't seen. I haven't
Yeah,
even seen
maybe
what's
maybe you
written
know
in
only
there.
to, maybe you forgot their name. I also forgot the name of half of them. That does not mean that I didn't hear their names. Maybe you also heard their name, and maybe you also forgot half of the names, just like me.
I've heard names, but I cannot claim that I've heard names and I know 27 guys. I've heard maybe
Yeah,
like five athletes,
the
and that's it.
27 guys, they don't know. The guy who wrote that letter, he doesn't. Maybe he also forgot what are the. It's difficult to remember 27 names, but don't tell me that you have no idea who those are. Of course you know.
Not all 27. Like I said, I've heard some people's opinions, and I can just connect to the dots, but I have not seen the list. What Devon had been sharing, I have not seen it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Devon didn't share any list. He just shared that letter.
Yeah, he shared the letter, so he knows the list because that list was delivered to Robert, and I'm assuming Robert also showed
Yeah,
the.
yeah. He said that he has the list, but he does not want to like harm the athletes or create their negative image. That's why I didn't share it. Yeah.
I did not, and prior to that, I did not even know it was 27. I heard from Devon first.
Hmm. So the thing is that why you are asking me why do I think it's a rival
Yeah.
organization? Because the athletes that were not willing to compete there, they were willing to compete in your league. I'm now again I'm forgetting the names of the athletes that didn't compete or who made that post that they're quitting East versus West. Then you are immediately hiring those athletes. Okay, come to our organization. Then obviously
I
they're
see.
going to see that it's like a that's a bad
Okay.
terminology, but I'm still going to use it. The athletes will be mad at me if they hear me using this. It's like you have a girlfriend and she leaves you, and then your neighbor says, okay, you left that guy, come to us, come to me, and then that girlfriend starts staying over there. Like, wouldn't you start thinking that that is your enemy, that's your rival, that guy who just took your girlfriend in his home as soon as she left you?
Not if that guy is also okay to basically share. Like, let's say I don't own the athlete because, like I
Share
said,
the girlfriend.
yeah, yeah, because of your reference, like you're using the word girl, so I'm using the word sharing, because if somebody's ex girlfriend is come to me and I'm blocking her, that guy should technically think that I'm the enemy. But I said I don't care what happens to this because we offer the future for athletes to somewhere to pool and participate. If they are okay to pool East versus West, we don't have a problem with that. Like I said, we already mentioned our contract strategy, and we don't prohibit athletes to go anywhere else where they want. We don't tie them up. Like I said, first thing we ask the athletes we invite to our show, or they just ask to be invited. We ask them, hey, are you contracted? Because we don't want any legal issues, first of all, of course, makes sense. But also, we don't want to have like bad relationship with East versus West or any other league. But since East versus West is the number one now, number one league, the biggest league, and now we people think that we have a potential, GVW has a potential. Now all of a sudden we have become their biggest enemy, which is not true. Like, there are many other already successful organizations who nobody thinks that they are against East versus West. And how come so? you
but
know
they but those organizations are not started by East versus West contracted arm wrestler. GVW is started by Gennady Quickvinia, who is still a contracted arm wrestler by East versus West. That's the difference. That's why it's a rival organization, and that's why they've banned. That's why they've banned GVW. Or Dexter said, I don't have any problem with any league in this world whatsoever except only GVW. Then after that, how can you say that it is not a rival organization?
Well, let me tell you this. Dexter, first of all, has personal issues with me. I don't want to go there, but everybody knows that Dexter has personal issues with me. That's so he knows two guys are behind GVW and suspects maybe Engin, but let's say for sure he knows that it's me and Gennady. And Gennady is his contracted athlete, like you said. I don't know what's written in Gennady's contract, but when he started the organization with me, I assume that he knows that everything is okay legally. Otherwise, it would be dumb move from him, right?
If
So
again,
Gennady,
sorry to interrupt you, but you said in that on the other interview on Matt's channel that you're a 50-50 owner. You are 50 owner,
yes,
50%,
yes,
and Gennady is 50%.
yes.
Being a 50% owner, if you don't know the details of the contract of the other 50% owner, Gennady Quickvina, because it can affect your league, then you're not a good
Oh, for sure.
businessman. You're
Well,
not making a good decision there.
he told me I know Gennady like personally very well, and there are many things that I just trust him as the process goes because we have a trust issues, not trust issues. We don't have trust issues. We have trustworthy relationships. So as we go by, there are some things that goes beyond asking questions. When he told me and assured me that, hey Roman, there is no problem with it, like contract is not an issue. I said, okay, I trust you. I don't need to see with my own two eyes the contract. Gennady, I trust him. He said there is no issues. I'm assuming at some point Robert also trusts Dexter and back and forth. So Dexter should not be questioning or asking everything that Robert is doing and vice versa. I believe so.
Let's read the super chats real quick. We read that from Mark. We read this one as well. Then we have one from Sports Giants. What are your thoughts about Kirsten Prodigy versus John Tyrion, guys? So first of all, I have already talked about him. The guy is looking really strong. First of all, I I personally think that the second Bojidar Simenov match that Kirsten had, which he lost 3-2, I think, that was again a showmanship, just like Coach Ray did against that guy at the MAC event. That wasn't a real match in my opinion. But he's strong, man. He's strong. He beat John Tyrion. I was not expecting him to do that. He's taking big matches. Now he's competing at GVW, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I think, yeah, he's
Gonna go
competing against
Samushi.
Samushia. Come on, this guy keeps leveling up. Of course, he's going to lose to Samushia, but he doesn't care about losing. That's the thing that initially I
hope he
used to
will.
hate. I used to hate this about Kirsten, but now after seeing him beat John Tyrion when he's aiming high, it finally has started. It is obviously not going to work against Samushia, but it has started to work for him. So now I respect that part. What are your thoughts about that?
I hope Samushia's wrist injury will be healed completely and it will not pay a dividends for his match against Kirsten. I know Kirsten has a good open tackle. I knew already, and also Samushia has good weapon against it. The problem is the wrist, and Samushia's. According to Samushia, he doesn't know where he is right now. At his level, he's nowhere near to his prime, but he has still 1 month, good month to prepare. And according to him, healing process goes well. But it started back in July. So injury is not that old; it's quite new. So when he told me, "Hey Roman, I'm not sure how good shape I am, so do not give me the too hard opponent," I said, come on, man, I cannot just make very big mismatch, obviously. But Kirsten was also asking to have a match. Basically, Kirsten himself approached us, like many other athletes. But we were thinking very carefully, and according to Samushia, it's a good test for him to know exactly where he is because in his mind, last match he had was not 85. So it's been a while since he had 85 kg match, and now coming from the injury, it would be a good test for him. And also, Kirsten is proving that he is improving very good, and I was very happy and not too much shocked, to be honest, the way he beat John. So it's good for him, and I believe there will be a good match. Good match. Maybe you are right that it will not work against Samushia. I hope, as a Georgian, that Samushia wins, of course, but I hope that people will enjoy the match.
And guys, please don't post disrespectful super chats. I just showed it on the page, but I'm not going to read it. Then we have Arm Fanatic with $5 super chat. I haven't read it yet. Please ask why they chose such a similar name to East versus West if they truly meant no harm or no competition. Hard to believe that was not a petty job from Engin. So first of all, I'm going to answer this. I saw this question in the Matt Rhodes interview too. And you like almost, not exactly, but almost flat out denied that we haven't copied the East versus West logo. You have. You cannot lie about it, Roman. You cannot lie about it. You have. Instead, just you said, why not? What's the harm? East versus West was or maybe is still a great organization. I was also a part of that team. If I'm taking inspiration from them, what's the harm in that? You could have said that, but instead you denied that you haven't copied the logo from or also the name and or also the name from them. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay. My thoughts is that in the Matt Rhodes interview, I clearly say that I do not deny the similarities. That's the first thing. You cannot find the part where I say that they are not similar and it's not looks like that it's being copied. I never said that.
You
What I
said it
said
is not
was
copied. You said you have not copied that.
I did not copy it. I got inspiration from other things, but GVW is Georgia versus World, and initials like V because of versus obviously is the same, and W is from World, not from the West, which is also happens to be the same letter character. So only G is the difference. So Georgia versus World is like that's why it's so similar, like these three letters, right? And the sports, the reason why we had sports in it, it's a crucial one, is because we are planning to extend beyond arm wrestling. Because in Georgia, there is very popular combat sports, and they do not have a streaming platform. This is something that I have not said in Matt Roads because I did not get much time, but now, brother, it will be on your show, basically premiered, exclusive. I said on Metro Sport that we wanted to go beyond arm wrestling, and now what I'm adding up to that is that in Georgia there are combat sports like mixed martial arts. This is number one target after after arm wrestling for us, and the reason why it's so similar to East versus West is because of these three letters and the word sport. Sport, we used it to don't frame us only towards arm wrestling. I think East versus West themselves did with the same reason. They could have gone with East versus West arm wrestling as a brand when they purchased the company, but they chose EVW Sports, which is way beyond the arm wrestling. It's just sports in plural, just like we did, because we want to expand beyond arm wrestling, but we cannot just jump or start running without start walking, right? So we have to take baby steps, and it will be arm wrestling, but we will go beyond it. We will do mixed martial arts. We will do uh, many other sports like volleyball, football, and stuff. But it's like for future plans. And also, Gennady and I have a other organization already founded, but we are not gonna mention that one yet. But it's in work in progress. We don't only have a GVW. There is also something else, but it's a more like a long term plan, which needs to be uh, told about in a very specific time and right place. So it's not right time right now to talk about that. I would just say right now for the records that we have also other plans, not only just Georgia versus World.
Okay,
So
okay.
I never denied it. I said that inspiration came from Leader Sports and the logo Leader Sports. Everybody can look it up and find that colors are the same as Leader Sport. And we just added, of course, we needed to make something different, so we added more gold and the silver combination. And background is black, makes sense because I think it's contrast, like good eye peeling contrast. And like wording already explained how it's so similar. We did not just copy paste it. This versus West.
So this question, Roman, can you make ownership funding papers public? I'll try to answer this question. Of course, I don't know anything about that, but I'm guessing as of now, until now, everything is just verbal. Not even a handshake because you guys aren't together. Just a conversation, just a gentleman's agreement. I don't think there is any like legal ownership or written partnership at this point in GVW Sports. I may be wrong. Please correct me if I am.
Yes, you are wrong, and it is GBGP6XQ. Thank you for great question. This was very necessary. I see now why it's so necessary because even Predit didn't know that, even though you know many things that maybe I don't even know. So I was last week of July until 10th of August in Georgia, and I had specific reason. I wanted to go there and found this organization. And yes, there is verbal, also physical handshake, and also paperwork done already. It was done as I was in Georgia for 3 weeks. I was in Georgia, and within that time frame, I personally met with Gennady, and we went to the authority place and we did paperwork. And I have no problem, GB. It's your question. I have no problem to publish it. Let me ask to Gennady if he doesn't have also problem that I can definitely share it. We can post it on our GW.
Just message him. Why he'll answer it while this interview
I
is
can
going
message
on.
him
Or
right now.
yeah, you can message him right now. Why not? That will be interesting, because you know why I was thinking that since it's just a verbal agreement, maybe that's why
That's a
it is
problem
very,
because many people think like that.
yeah,
Man, it's not.
because if
I was there in Georgia,
yeah, because
specifically.
if it is just a verbal agreement, then it is so easy to hide who the real owner is. That's why I was also saying that Roman isn't the real owner.
Now we clicked in my mind how important this question was. It's so super chat. Well done. We have a paperwork. I have no problem to publish it. Let me ask you again. But meanwhile, you can read the comments so that
Yeah, yeah,
I
sure,
can
sure, sure,
stall.
sure, sure, sure. Okay, I'll discuss the maybe the super chats that I can answer myself. I'll read it, and I've already. This one is Engiterzi is the real owner and the enemy of the sport. So this will also be cleared if Gennady messages Roman while this interview is still going on. Thanks for the super chat again. Second one, your second one for the night. Who hacked East versus West website? Maybe Roman has some inside information about that, since he was working at East versus West, not now. But my guess, and I even messaged this to Engin Terzi, I messaged this to Dexter Tan, and I was like, as per my understanding, that guy is Sol Arun. 90% I said at 90% I'm sure that guy is Sol Arun, because he has the charge of the website and he's the biggest Engin fanboy in the world. He'll do anything to please Engin Terzi, and Engin also knows that. So that's the reason why I said that. So and he let the website expire because he was in full control. He was getting, and what did he say? Well, I forgot to renew the website. Well, you didn't. He said that I forgot to renew the domain, and like, are these things even believable? The biggest Engin fanboy, as soon as Engin is forced out of the league, or as soon as he sells the league, he immediately forgets to renew the domain. To me, it's like, but Dexter told me no, he trusts Solarun. I was like, okay, okay.
This is. I'm not sure. It's blurred somehow. Maybe with my finger. I will need to
Blur.
remove it.
You've selected that option to blur the background. You'll have to remove it in the settings.
Maybe if I put
Yeah.
my this,
In
if
front
I
of
put
in
my
front of your
face.
face. In front of your
Yeah,
face.
yeah. So this is
Yeah.
Gennady Griffin. I'm not sure if it's visible, and I'm sending the text right now. Yep.
Yeah.
And let's wait. I asked him if he's okay. I said I'm okay with it to share people so that once and for all this question is asked. But I believe still that there will be some people who will just keep claiming that Engin has any some share or anything to do with us. No, that I respect
Yeah,
him.
I'm telling you, yes,
He
and
wants to be
there
away.
still can be some reasons. There still can be
Yes,
some reasons to doubt
I
that.
acknowledge
It's
that.
not like it's not like it will clear 100% of the doubts, but at least maybe 50% of them.
Brother, let me tell you before we proceed. I thank you for this live stream. We've been like 43 minutes already. Time goes so fast. Uh, Thank you for this live stream. I also thank Matt. I will do anything necessary to gain the respect from the fans and from the people that maybe I have already lost, because there are many people I see. Not today, I don't watch the comments now, but I will rewatch the video. Many people who used to be my online friends are now suspicious towards me, or basically against me. So I will do my best to earn the respect, and this, I believe, what we are doing is necessary step from my side to take. That's why I approached you and asked you if it's okay we could do the live stream. And you, as a good friend of mine, immediately said that it was a good idea. So I will do. It will take time. It will take time, but I will eventually gain the trust and respect, and I will prove my words with my work. There's no other way.
So, what is the registration progress or process, not progress, for a company or for anything in Georgia? Because people are saying it's not a registered organization, so it cannot be trusted.
It is registered. It's registered organization. We registered both with Latin names, so Latin letters, so English letters, and also Georgian one. We had to precisely make both versions written and registered, just like Georgian name, and with Georgian letters we translate it, and also for international viewers, English letters, like Latin letters, which is English. Basically. It is registered. Yeah. And
So do you
that's
know
also
who
written in the document which I asked Gennady, let's publish, and he
do you
agreed.
know? Yeah, we can wait for that. Do you know who hacked the website, as people are asking in the comments? A super chat.
I have no idea. I don't. I know what they why they asked. I'm checking Gennady's message. He has not even seen it yet. Okay. I don't know. I really don't know. Have no idea. I just I am biased. I am biased, and I'm not delusional to say that I don't look biased. I have been working with Engin so many years, and I know him very, very well. As when it comes to know how would he try to make the decision when it comes to arm wrestling or East wrestling. I don't think that what he's saying is untrue. I cannot prove or disprove whatever he's saying or his opposite side is saying. What I can only just say is that because of my relationship, that my experience with Engin, he has never been unfair to me. If I made mistake, he has always criticized. He had apologized to me many times, and I have done also when I messed up with, like, let's say, live streams or giveaways or something, right? So I just all I can say is that I think more than 50%, I think that he's right, and less than 50%, I think he's wrong. So if somebody asks me, hey, you gotta put your $1,000, either Engin is correct or wrong regarding to website thing, I would say if I have no other option to bet my money, I would bet that he's right, but I cannot prove or disapprove.
But the question was just who hacked the East versus West website. Can
I
you
have
guess
no
a
idea,
name
like I
or
said.
not? That's the question. Like my guess was Sol Arun. I can publicly say that. Are you confident
Well,
enough to?
so
Yeah.
yeah, Saul is a good friend of mine, and I know for sure that he had some official connections as an employer, as an employee, official things to do with website. He was not only graphic designer. I even said like 5 or 10 minutes ago in your stream that he was web developer, or at least web designer or something. So he could have had some connections. So your suspicion, your the way you suspecting him could be correct,
आओ
but
वीरू आओ.
I don't know. I don't know why would Saul do that. He's still employee of East versus West, if I'm not mistaken. Why would he do that? Why would he dig his own grave, so to say, as I did? The way I got fired, I knew I was getting fired because prior to my firing, they asked me to choose, and I chose my dignity, and I did not sell Engin for any money that East versus West was offering. But I knew it coming. Why would Saul do that? I don't know. Maybe you're right, maybe wrong. I cannot suspect on him, but I can approve that he has connections with website, or used to have. Maybe he's downgraded now by Dexter. I don't know.
Yeah. My thing was like 90% Sol Arun hacked it, did it himself because he was the one who created this website. I was the one who suggested his name to Engin Terzi. Engin didn't know about him. That was maybe
Ah,
like
you
three,
also
three.
suggested him too. Ah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
suggested my name and also Saul's name.
Yeah, I suggested Sol's name to Engin. It was around East versus West 3 or 2, I guess. I don't remember exactly, but I suggested his name, and he created that website, so he knows the inside out of that thing. And the other so my thing was 90% Sol Arun did it, or 10% Engin asked or told Sol Arun to do it. So it's 100% Sol Arun for me. That's what I can say.
You
Yeah.
could be
So
correct, but I
yeah.
cannot say. I don't know.
Again, this guy EFI4100 for the with the third super chat of the night. You make Bowen look like Mother Teresa. Stop lying, Roman.
What have I said about Bowen here? I don't know. I
This
used to
super
have a
this super
talk
chat
with
is
him.
like at 10:38 p.m. So like almost 30 minutes ago it was.
Ooh,
So yeah,
we are
at
that
that time
behind.
maybe. It's,
Oh,
hmm,
man.
yeah. So let's quickly. Yeah, but you should be, I would say, like more clear with the explanations. In my mind, should come after the answer. Like if it's a question, who hacked the website, it would be very nice of you if you can just say, okay, I don't know, but I think it could be this guy. I don't want, or I don't want to take any names, but or something like that, whatever you want to answer. Then the explanation should come afterwards. Then the fans, I think, will not be complaining about that too much. Roman, what are your responsibilities as an alleged 50% owner of GVW?
Gennady just messaged me. Let me answer that one, and I will just say I'm not gonna message Gennady back right now. Um, as a 50% owner of GW, like I said, I'm deputy general
Alleged.
director. He said alleged.
Alleged owner, not it's
Yeah.
not confirmed yet.
All right, all right. Basically, on that subject, message me, Gennady. Um, I have to do basically daily basis checks of our social media, our website, web developing. I'm doing that one as well now. Um, I also have to make sure that posters are done properly. I also have to answer our professional email, which is we have two business gwsports.com and info@gwsports.com. So I'm doing like all internet related stuff because I'm not physically located in Georgia right now. And what Gennady is doing is that he's helping me to basically just go to sponsors. He's asking them, he's connecting with them, he's getting sponsors on the board, and basically he's doing more groundwork there because our event will be in Tbilisi, where Gennady lives, and where I also live. One of my real estates are rented right now in Germany, in Georgia. I just live in Germany, so we are kind of sharing our workloads here. That's my responsibilities. But I'm sure it will grow as we grow. Yeah.
So I have many questions about this. Who will do the matchmaking? Quick answers I
We
would
are
like.
we are both, but I think more Gennady is doing. Gennady is just throwing the names. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I say, oh man, didn't that guy already beat him or something like this? And then we double check. But usually it's like I would say 70 to 30, 70% he's doing and 30%. But he always asks me, and I always ask him. We don't do anything without asking each other. Also matchmaking and
But you guys can ask Engin. He knows a lot about matchmaking.
well, we already asked like I think a month ago or so, and he said that he doesn't want to do he doesn't want to be part of anything related arm wrestling outside of East versus West. Back then, when he was still trying to communicate with East versus West, I believe that was the time. And since then, once he publicly said that they departed and he just wants to go out, I respect, like I said, I respect him. I know that he wants to be out of this drama, out of these haters, out of these arm wrestling related things, and I just do my own job without anger with Gennady. I think you were
So
frozen, but I hope you heard me. I think you
yeah,
were
I heard. I
frozen.
was not frozen. Maybe I was not moving,
Ah,
but I don't think I was frozen. Yeah.
because
So
sometimes I just
matchmaking.
watch the camera. I don't watch the viewport.
There are two types of there were two types of guests on Engin's channel. One who watch arm wrestling and the others who don't watch arm wrestling. They always respond to all of Engin's questions about the predictions of upcoming super matches by saying the table will show the stronger guy will win. He should like not the detailed explanation. I don't remember. I don't want to be wrong about this, but I don't remember how Gennady responded to those comments. But I'm doubtful if Gennady is the one who's watching all of the arm wrestling. Like if he's watching all of the European arm wrestling, Asian arm wrestling,
Oh
it's a
no, he
must.
does.
If you want to be a
He does.
matchmaker, you need to watch all of the Asian arm wrestling, like table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right and left arm. You want to watch that. You need to watch the European and the World Championships, all of the matches,
Absolutely.
like
He
everywhere. You
already
need to pay attention. I don't think Gennady is doing that.
Yes, he does. And he already suggested me to buy my ticket to fly. I think it's Bulgaria this time. The Worlds are there in WAF in September 20th. And he will be there. I said, maybe I'm not. I'm still in Germany. He will be there. And he told me about this like month ago. He wants to go there and watch. He has always been watching close, and this time he will physically be there at European WAFs.
So Gennady is a full time arm wrestler.
No, he has many other businesses. I cannot say that he's only doing arm wrestling. Full time arm wrestler means that he's just only doing arm wrestling, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
no, he has many other businesses. Yeah.
But it can also be like if he has a okay, let's not get into that. And you are leaving your job, so will you work
I
another
already left.
job?
Yeah.
Yeah, will you work another job when you go back to Georgia? Are you going there like
No, no.
permanently to stay there?
This is my job. GVW Sports is my job.
Because without that it will be really difficult for you guys to manage because both of you don't have any experience in organizing events. Engin Terzi had experience. He was organizing some small level events like more than a decade ago too. So he had some experience. He had those relationships with not just with arm wrestlers but maybe with other people too who can help him in organizing these events. And he became knowledgeable about social media too. Gennady, on the other hand, he cannot do an interview live while sitting still. Like he's constantly like with his phone, changing rooms,
I've seen
moving.
your video
Sometimes,
when you're saying that he's barely even holding the phone. I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
I was like,
bit
how
of
is this guy going to organize? Like be the owner and the organizer of such a big league? I hope it becomes a big league in the future. If he cannot even do an interview live, like not inviting guests and stuff, managing questions and stuff. He just cannot hold the camera still in front of his face. How is he going to organize GVW sports?
I have to admit
It's
he's very busy. He's always moving. We call per day because I'm not there in Georgia, so we call per day maybe like 50 times. Like call back, like 5 minutes to talk, then do our things, then call me back, and I call him back and stuff. And he's never just standing still. Like he's constantly moving, right? Um, so yeah, and also on that part, once I moved, like I said, I left my job here already months, even months before this drama started, because I had hopes that I will be doing full time in East versus West. That was kind of upcoming deal between me, Robert, and Dexter, which broke because of my decision that I made. um, so I already had to leave the work. I have other things to do in Georgia, but thankfully for my father and my family, they are being taken care of this. Like I said, 4.5 years I've been here in Germany, and all the businesses that we have restaurants there. We have we used to have car washing business. Now we sold it. We have like three different businesses plus real estate business. In my behalf, my father is taking care of it because I'm not physically in Georgia. I wrote down, I don't know how it's called in English, like when you write down the legal paper to which you allow some other person to handle your finances and your obligations, legal and financial way in other country, like that specific paper that gives the allowance, that allows the other guy, let's say, go to the bank and use this paper to get some money out of your account, let's say, right? And thanks to this, my other businesses has been taken care of. Now I will fully be on GW. I wanted to also, before we forget, because like I said, Gennady messaged, right? Then it got thrown away with other questions. So he said that this is publicly available to search. I will ask him now, how can anybody search? He said that you don't have to show them anything, Roman. They can find it out themselves. It's public information, what he said.
many
So
people were writing that they searched it online or maybe they searched it a few days ago and at that time your name didn't show up or maybe nothing showed
Georgia
up.
versus World Armwrestling. This is the English name of the business that is registered. That I owe 50%. I just messaged him. How could people find it? I'm sure I can find it for you guys, but I would rather just communicate with you
So
and
yeah, a funny
give you the
question
source.
after this funny comment. Like if Engin after this first event messages you, Roman, I want to buy your share of GVW Sports for let's say $50,000, and you'll get the money tomorrow or today if you agree. Are you going to sell it to
I don't
Engin?
think he. I don't think he can. I don't think he has $50,000 because I know many
Come on, man,
things.
Engin is rich.
No, he. Can I say it? I'm not sure. You're tempting me now to say it.
That's my channel. You can say anything you want here.
You are
Unless
tempting
you
me to
unless
say.
unless Engin is the real owner. Unless you're scared that he's the real owner
I'm not scared
of
of you, Andy.
GVW.
I am not scared of you, Andy. The thing is, I know that, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I would
You're
say
saying
that
that he hasn't been paid by Robert Baxter yet? Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, that's what I was about to say. To my
I,
knowledge,
I can sense what you're trying to say, and it is partially true. I think it's public information, or maybe it's private. I don't mind it. Engin has been paid only 50% of the money which he was supposed to be paid
what I
by
know,
Robert.
less than 50. What I know, maybe by this time already 50. I don't
Yeah,
know, but
50.
what I know is less than 50%. He's being
Or
paid.
you just
So
said
when he
yes
sold,
maybe you said yes to this just because you were trying to change the topic, change the conversation. You were thinking about something else, not this that Engin
No.
hasn't got
I
paid.
wanted to exactly say, but I did not think that it was my say to say. I did not have. I did not
Bro,
think that I
you
was
own your mouth, you own your tongue. You can say whatever you want.
because, like I said, now I'm speaking on like as a guy who has nothing to do with East West West anymore and owes GVW.
You are
Like
speaking about the guy who has nothing to do with East versus West, Engin.
no.
So
Of
how?
course. But what I'm saying is that now I'm your guest as somebody who has nothing to do with EVW and is the owner of GVW. And I publicly already said that I don't want to have a negative relationship with EVW. And when I come out and publicly say that Robert hasn't paid Engin yet, to my knowledge, which is in my knowledge correct, then obviously it puts some negative feelings between GVW and EVW, which I did not want. That's why I was hesitant to say. But you already knew the information, as you already
No,
let me know.
how much more negative can it be than what it already is? Dexter has said that that's the only league in this world that he doesn't like. That's the only league in this world that he wants to
Why? Just
ban.
because
Like just
just
he doesn't even
because
want to talk about it.
he has personal issues with me, or just because it was started by the he East versus West contracted athlete. Like,
Both,
what's the specific
maybe
reason?
both.
Maybe both. But the thing is, before that one,
Brother,
when he
like
did
I
not
think
pay
I
the
think you are
Engin,
just I think you're just overestimating your presence in the arm wrestling world as of now. Like you are working as just as an employee at East versus West. I don't think
I
Dexter
used to
would
work.
be like going will be going after you that I don't like this guy, so anything that he does I'm publicly going to speak against it. I don't think it's like
I
that.
hope you are right. I hope you're right because I don't want the personal things to go like on that so that beyond. I don't want things to go that far. But what I think is, yeah, like they started to sabotage our event by contacting to the athletes because from the athletes we know this. So why would athletes lie to us? They contact them and saying, trying to persuade them not to compete. This is not a good move. This was their first move,
You're talking
basically.
about the athletes that were not contracted by them.
Yes, all the athletes
Uh,
that are now pulling at GBW has no contracts with any other league.
So maybe they were thinking about inviting them in the future, and they were just letting them know that if you compete there, you cannot compete at East versus West
Yeah. So why don't I do that? Why don't I say the athletes,
because you're not in a
hey,
position. GVW is
well,
not a league that is big enough to
makes
command
sense.
this kind of control over the athletes. That's the
Well,
reason
but
why
there
you're
is
not doing it.
makes sense. I'm not gonna argue on that one, but also it's a fact that there is no one single organization that can satisfy all the professional athletes out there. There's no way that East versus West will contract, let's say, 100 athletes and satisfy them. There's like literally no way there.
But they
So
didn't contract
we,
100 athletes. They
I don't
didn't
know how many
contract.
athletes they contract. What I'm saying is that it's a 100 is a figure speech. There are more professional athletes than just 100. However, we want to like many people liked that we GVW is putting also very how can I say, spotlight under the athletes who are 70 kg, 65 kg, even 58 kg, like lower weight classes. And many people appreciate that. Maybe not your fans and your viewers who are watching us now, but I know from neutral fans, they love that we are giving lower weight classes equivalent chances, to show up. I don't think East versus West can satisfy all the athletes. That's why we need to have more ways for athletes to pull.
But weren't all of the athletes praising East versus West, praising Engin Terzi? They were saying that this is all that arm wrestling needed. This is exactly what we were hoping for just 3 months ago. So now, how can you say that East versus West was or is not good enough to satisfy all of the athletes?
Uh, all of the athletes who were competing, or all of the athletes who is out there. Whichever
Who
you
wants
want.
to compete? Because it's a level
No,
higher.
not wants
Of
to
course,
compete. Who were competing. They can satisfy who is competing there, but they
yeah.
cannot let everybody compete there because physically there is no room for that.
That is true. That is true. I will agree with you that one league cannot satisfy. For example, Pro Punjab League in terms of Viewership, biggest league in the world. Most number of views generated in terms of YouTube subscribers, the biggest league in the world. Instagram subscribers, followers, biggest league in the world. Facebook subscribers, biggest league in the world. And that is coming from just the Hindi speaking audience, which is, by the way, fewer than the English speaking audience from all around the world. So people cannot say the audience thing that India has that many people. So the thing is that, but the level of Indian arm wrestlers isn't there. So if they were just waiting for East versus West, they'll never be invited there. So you're totally right. That is a different product which the Indians needed, and there can be many other leagues like that. But then in that case, I will say the pay-per-view model which you are trying to implement here, and I've heard I can guess from the way you were speaking, the pay-per-view price is going to be around $15 for this first GVW first event.
Okay.
But then pay-per-view model, I don't think, Roman, is going to work unless you have the top level athletes in your organization, which at this point you clearly don't have.
I hope Zerano and Paislo are not offended that one. But even if they are, you don't care.
No, Zaranov cannot sell any pay-per-view. Zaranov cannot sell anything. I can compete in a super match, and I can guaranteed challenge Zaranov. I can sell more pay-per-views than him.
Maybe
you versus me. GVW Sports, GVW2. Book it now.
More papers than Zerano.
Book it now. We will sell more pay-per-views than Zaranov. Do a code next time.
Years already.
Yeah. I'll be gentle with you.
By the way, I'm actually 80 kg. I made the weight, so I think we were talking about maybe if I make 80 kg, then we can do it. Because
I can cut. I can go down to 75. No problem. I'm fat at 80, 82, 83 kg. I'm very fat at this weight.
I'm also fat at 82, and I
so
think
80 it is then.
Best would be
book it. Both left and right.
Yeah. Because you are tempting me now as an organizer. Maybe I will do. But we are planning in December second event, so maybe in December. I wanted to say something. Slipped my mind. What was the topic we were talking before? It was pay-per-view models. Yeah. So even though Gennady is not here as a general director of GVW, I'm still able to talk about this subject because me and Gennady agreeing 100%, and we've been through this many times, so he will not have any problems. We may have it for free. It depends on the sponsors deals. There are three sponsor deals that are being pending right now, major ones, and one of the sponsors offer is to only exclusively we should let them to stream it, which should be free for their viewers, and they will pay for it. But the reason it's pending now is that we need to negotiate the price, because if we allow them to do that, then they should pay a lot, right? So that's why it's pending. That's why still till today we are not saying 100% concrete, this is the price for the pay-per-view, this is the platform, and this is the way to go. We are still, because like I said, I would love to let it for free for you guys. Like I would love to do that, but some necessary steps has to be taken in order.
And I can tell you that, and of course you also know Engin. You must have talked with Engin how many pay-per-views he was selling with those athletes. With that knowledge, I think it's quite.
He never told me.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I can tell you with that knowledge, you are not going to cover the expenses of this event. Not even maybe 20% of the expenses with just pay-per-view money. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. We like we already said on Metro's channel. Gennady said it and I translated. We definitely not dependent on pay-per-view. That's incorrect. That's why I said we may just stream for free. It's just
that's the way it should be. Because even back in the day, WL, I don't think WL was making losses because Steve Kaplan was a businessman. He wouldn't run the league if it was not profitable. So I'm assuming it was profitable. Igor Mazurenko's PL was definitely profitable. He has said that publicly in an interview. So two big leagues existed at the same time, and most likely both of them were profitable. So you have the proof. It can work. But then again, WL was not pay-per-view model. Igor started doing the pay-per-view model. It was very successful. 2018 Devon versus Denis Siplinkov,
Top eight, yeah, also
top eight.
good
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
but then WL never did it. So I don't think if we're just talking about pay-per-view models, Major Arm Wrestling Championship is doing that right now, and a couple of other, like what happened to the Knuckles Up organization. I think it's kind of dead. Armatura, not Armatura. What was the Russian event? The AMC event. It was not pay per view, but then it's also dead now. So I don't think that many leagues can exist. Like the sponsors are backing out because they're not finding value. But for two leagues, I think there is a place. At this point, I don't think you can match what East versus West is doing. But what you can try, what you should try to do, is just separate yourself from all of the other leagues, from Knuckle Up, from Major Arm Wrestling Championship, from all of the other leagues in the world. You'll have to prove that you are better than all of them. Of course, you will also agree that at this point you cannot prove that you are better than East versus West. It's basically
We are
impossible. It's
just
the best.
starting, obviously. I
Yeah,
agree on
yeah,
that.
just starting. But if you somehow prove to the fans that you are better than all of the other organizations, like it's like Levan is there, and then Hermes is there, but Devon has separated himself. So if you can be the Devon, and let's say Levan is East versus West, then I think it still can work for you. But for that, you'll have to spend a lot of money, maybe not expect too much in return, maybe burn a lot of money in the initial 2-3 events, and then
We
hopefully
think
it
that,
can work.
yeah, that's a very solid approach. We think that first two and possibly three. Third one is unsure, but first two events will be losses. We already counted
Yeah.
on that one. Yeah.
uh, maybe the viewers will, we can help. The owner should compete
Maybe,
against,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, we will send, we'll sell, we
As
will
an
sell
owner,
100
maybe I will sell.
pay-per-views.
Maybe I will sell also my 50% to Gennady, so he is the organizer. I'm not, and then I will have my match there, and then
No,
then I will buy it
I,
back.
I don't agree with this. Angin was also having a
Uh,
match against Arthur Makarov in his
he
own
had
league. I
once
don't think
Arthur,
it
yeah, yeah,
matters.
yeah.
If Robert
But he
Baxter
also had, yeah.
decides to compete tomorrow against Neil Pickup, so would you then say, well, that's a bad move, owner shouldn't compete? No, everyone is going to welcome that. I don't think people are going to be against that.
Yeah, well, speaking of new pickup, like what he's doing is also like armworks is a different approach, right? So as long as you are doing something different, you can always, and this different thing is appreciated by the athletes first of all, and then fans. Then league can be successful, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be like money was successful at the beginning. At the beginning, it doesn't have to be money was financially successful. Yeah.
Yeah, I intentionally did not read this super chat for like past 10 minutes because I knew this topic will be brought up. So profit margins are small or non-existent, as we have seen with King of the Table and even early East versus West. Yeah, they had to sell cards, sell t-shirts, and only then they were profitable. Even East versus West, when they were inviting Devon and some of the Hermes Gasparini and all of the big names, even then they had to sell merchandise and cards and stuff and VIP packages. Then they were profitable, not just by pay-per-views. Why start off with 16 matches? Thank you, JR Williams, for the $5 super chat.
Can I also double down on that one? J.R. Williams,
Yeah,
I
of course, it's a
remember.
question for you,
Yeah,
not for me.
yeah, so I will gladly answer. J.R. Williams is one of the guys. When I mentioned that there were some guys who were good, like online friends with me, and now they were hesitant or maybe even kind of opposite against me. J.R. Williams, I remember you as a most guy who mostly agreed and liked what I was doing here at East versus West, and I know that you're a good fan of sport, and I think that's what we have in common, me and you. Why would we start with 16? I think that's the perfect example
Again,
that
maybe
you
again
have said.
copying East versus West, just like the logo and name. I'm just joking.
Did they start with 16? I don't really remember. Yeah, I know you were joking on that one. So
I
this
mean,
is
they
perfect
have many
example.
matches, not exactly 16, but they are the ones that started with that many matches.
Yeah, yeah. We I think we should look this in the different way. I think this because it just came into my mind. These 16 matches are very good, and actually one more match is pending to be approved. Is a proof of us trying to give athletes chance to perform and not expect the money in return. We are not like saying, oh man, we need to make sure that we're gonna gain some money from some athletes. Let's do only three, four, five, like AOTT do. I'm not saying that they were only money fixated organization. I'm not saying that, but they were, I guess, good business and try to gain profit as soon as they started. In our case, we are trying to give athletes, as many athletes, chances as possible. Like we gave matches out there. Many arm wrestling fans know those athletes, but many new arm wrestling fans have no idea who those athletes are because of the weight classes they pull. We really want them to shine in future. We want them to get their career going. We want people who will be born in Georgia or over the world and say, "Oh, one day I will become arm wrestler," like they are doing, let's say, for boxing, MMA fights, or football or any other big sport, right? So we have to appreciate the athletes, and we cannot appreciate their work if we don't see their work. So we are giving them chances so that people will see their work. We are not money focused. No.
Yeah, since you discussed East versus West, and there was we discussed that, and there was a comment to a few minutes ago about that when you mentioned you do not want to like create a rivalry or in bad terms with East versus West. But then some fans were asking. Let me share the screen. Just a second. Yeah. This is the question. This is the post that you made, and I'm quite sure you remember. What was the
Yeah.
reason? What was the
Us,
logic?
yeah.
Yeah, and how can you say after posting this that we are not we are not trying to be their rival, or we are not trying to like take some kind of revenge from them?
I think you need to mute. I think you need the screen sharing because I hear my own voice. I hear my own voice.
Did you hear what I said or not?
Yes, I heard what you said. Yes, I heard what you said, but I'm hearing my own voice because of the screen share.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
We saw the
but okay,
we saw
I
the
know.
comment.
Yeah, people also saw
Yeah.
the comment. Yes, first of all, like I already did at Metro Sports channel, I am the one who commented that, not Gennady. It was me. Only me and him managing GVW and socials, and he did not do it. I did. Why I did that? Uh, in that very comment, I also praise and say that what they are doing is good for sport. I underlined the fact that key difference that I believe we as a two organization have here. And like you already said, we need to do something different or something so that we can prove that we are doing better, right? So when I said that what they are doing is more money fixated, I didn't mean it in a wrong way. I'm not saying that they are doing bad or they are doing wrong. But key point is that this organization now already like 9 months has been purchased by businessmen. So the reason why they are there is to make sure that this EVW Sports as a business runs successfully. So of course they need to make sure that they earn money. But what we do is what I just said in previous answer to your question. We are not money fixated. We are not trying to get money in short term. We would rather have money like in 1 year later, but prior to that time, we will let arm wrestlers to shine. Those who were never
Or
arm
maybe
wrestlers.
can it be because you cannot make money right now? That's why you're saying that. It's not like you have many options to make money,
Makes
but
sense
you're not.
because we are just
The
starting.
only,
Yeah.
yeah, the only reason why your argument can be valid is that you could have tried to have maybe 10 matches instead of 16, and you would have saved some money.
Yeah. Now we are we
Yeah.
are we are like I said pending one more, so it will be 17, and I think 18 is tops now because also we cannot have like 10 hours of live stream or 12, right? So we need to also also make it time efficient, right? And we will have also oh yeah, and in that comment I also said that to my knowledge they will only have 4 events per year. All four will be East versus West, in my opinion, which was not written in the comment, but I'm saying it now exclusively. I think that they will only make East versus West. They will not make King of the Tables anymore. This is my opinion. And also within these 4 events, they definitely will not have more than 10 matches. What I assume is that they will have only 6, but they maybe have also up to 10, but not more than 10. So, to my knowledge, this proves that one organization, even though they are very successful, thanks to many people involved throughout the many years. Even they cannot satisfy the all the arm wrestling professional arm wrestlers who are keen to shine in this sport. So I see myself as an organizer who is giving athletes chance who otherwise wouldn't have gotten them. You know, and like I said, I did not try to put any shade on them. It's just too many suspecting things like timing, logos, my personal issue with Dexter, and many these things like add up too much on each other. And I never got the chance to talk to the audience like I'm doing now. That's why I thank you third time already in this live stream for this opportunity, so that I will earn in time the understanding from you guys. I need to earn it. Nobody will grant that to me. I know that.
Yeah, but then you said the other organization, the last comment which you made in that post, the one is long term sustainable plan, which you were obviously mentioning GVW Sports, and the other one is
Yes.
a short term money oriented plan. But then
So that
why
they
were
will
you
continue
still
as a
why were you
company.
still working with that league if you don't agree with their principles? Why were you working there, and why did Engin ask them to rehire you? Why
Mm,
was that Engin's last wish? Did you ask Engin to ask them to rehire you? Why were
no.
you keen on working there if you think they're just short minded money
Mm,
grabbing people?
interesting question. I first of all, I already told this to Matt Rhodes. I even personally told Engin to not include me in this deal so that I would be back in East versus West. I said, I don't need to be back in East versus West if this part of your deal, whatever you're doing with Robert, to get back, is a deal breaker. I said, if I'm the reason why they are saying no, because I knew that Dexter would not want me back, because I know that guy. Uh, so I said, Engin, just leave me out of this. I don't need to be a like a deal breaker. Just do what you want to do. And but he just honored what he gave me the word. He gave me the word, so I guess it was his decision to make. This clears out the one thing that no, I did not ask him to tell them to rehire me. No, even I asked opposite. I said if it's necessary, I will be out, no problem. Because like I said, I had many other things to do money wise. Uh, Another thing, important question, important aspect is uh, why I was there in East versus West. Many years I was there, try to build this company up alongside with Engin. You were also at the beginning there, and others. And I have invested so much time and so many passion towards each video I made, each interview I translated, each time I was in East versus West doing behind the scenes, running for hours and doing work behind the cameras. Uh, I wanted to make sport good, and I was seeing that East versus West is doing great. As soon as I knew that Engin doesn't want to be a part of it because for the reason that I cannot say now, but I know for sure, they somehow pressured him. And when I say somehow, I know how, but I'm not gonna say how. uh, I knew that Engin was not gonna continue there, and I had like similar ideas with Engin. So if Engin wasn't welcome there, neither would I be. And this, my very suspicion, was proved by Dexter himself when he asked. He told me, "Hey Roman, either you are with me or with Engin." Basically, this is what he told me with the messages. He said either you are here or there. I said I'm with East versus West. And when I said that, Engin was still there. Engin was not has not quit yet. So I said I am with East versus West. It's written there. He can share it if he wants. I'm not in the chat anymore. He kicked me out. I said, I'm with East versus West, wherever it is. I've been here for years. And when he fired me 2 days prior the Levon versus Hermes. I called Robert. I said, no matter what Dexter did, even though it was not your call, Robert, no matter what he did, I will make sure to do my part to till this event is done successfully, and then we will either talk or just I will depart. This is what I told Robert, and he proved this also Henry Nering's later hours of his stream. Yeah. So I
but
hope
but
this
the
answers to your question.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but partially, I would say. But the way he explained, the way Dexter explained why he fired you, I don't find any problem with that. Like, how is he going to deal with the thing that you constantly keep on telling him that Engin is like, if you're working on 10 videos, Engin is saying to you that 5 of them cannot be approved because there's a
It was,
mention of
yeah,
him.
it was specifically the videos of Engin's live streams, like interviews. I had many other things to do, and I was doing many other things. But that disagreement was specifically on Engin's live streams, and
But
that's
brother, he
what.
was the one at that, until even until that time, he was the one who was interviewing all of the athletes before the matches,
Yes,
right? So of
yes.
course most of the clips are going to be from his interview.
No, we were doing like how can I say? I can go into the East versus West Instagram right now. Like 90% of the videos of Instagram is like my edited without Engin's interviews there. It's just like good, short edits of actual action of the table. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be Engin's live streams. It was later stage, like later months of Dexter being there, when we kind of shifted towards to more like a storytelling thing. We didn't want to just only to shuffle some good, well edited arm wrestling cuts. We wanted, it was Dexter's idea, which I shared and I agreed to. It was good idea that we wanted videos to tell the story, and in order to tell the story, we it was my approach that okay, let's use Engin's live streams where athletes talk about their upcoming matches so that we can tell the story with the videos. So it started later months. It was not the like all these years. All these years I was doing normal YouTube shorts, like the Instagram shorts and TikTok shorts. Had nothing to do with the Engin's live
but
streams.
but brother, I hope you can understand that this part, that if there's a guy who doesn't believe in censoring anything, or doesn't believe in censoring most of the things, then he sees that for some weird reason many of the videos are not getting approved because Engin is talking in them. Engin doesn't want to see himself saying that, doesn't want himself to be seen saying those things again in a video, or whatever the reason was. He has a genuine reason to be frustrated. If who was in control of social media at that time, all of the responsibilities were decided. Engin was controlling matchmaking, refereeing, announcers, commentators, and one more thing which I'm forgetting. Guess what wasn't the part of it? Social media. So how can he then say that
Mm.
don't post my videos or whatever, wherever I'm involved in? Were you taking those clips from Engin's channel, or at that time were they on East versus West
At that
channel?
time, I remember most of them at that time was already on his first channel. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
how can he say
uh,
that? How can he tell you when social media isn't one of his lanes, and the videos, the interviews were not on his channel, it was on East versus West channel? Then how can he tell you that, or how can he be the one who was approving the videos? He was saying that you can or cannot post these videos in which I am involved. He had no
I
right
will
to
I
do
will
that.
clear things out. Yes,
Yeah,
I will
so
clear things out.
obviously Dexter had the reason to be mad at you.
Yeah, I will clear things out. When Dexter came alongside with Robert, what I knew was, to my knowledge, even though I had good professional relationship with Engin for years, he was not telling me everything. Right? I don't think he was telling everything to anyone. So, to my knowledge, he and Robert were in charge, and Dexter was doing social media. That was the idea and information that I had up until like very last week prior my firing, meeting fire. So like up until that time, I knew that Engin and Robert are bosses, and Dexter is doing social media. That's what I have known for months, right? And when about this specifically video approving, what I was doing is that I was letting Engin to decide, hey, these are good moments. I think these are good videos. Whichever you would love to be published, just tell me. And he was saying he has no problem with these. And then I was giving this to Dexter so that I know that Engin will not be issue anymore. So that Dexter will finally give it a proof or say, no, scratch that, do this, do that. And then I would be doing this. So instead of first telling to Dexter and then asking Engin, I was asking Engin on first half so that I know that Engin will not be issue anymore when Dexter approves it. Final word has always been Dexter. Final word was always Dexter. he was approving, and I never did something behind Dexter's back. Like, you know what? I shouldn't be saying this because I don't want to let personal things. I'm okay with my how can I say uh, colleague collegialship or how can I say it, like professional relationship to Dexter to be somehow fixed. I'm open to that. Uh, what he said was maybe he did not mean it, maybe he had wrong ideas. He said that the reason he fired me, he told this to other crew members. The reason he fired me is that I talked shit about Dexter behind his back in other two other crew members in separate crew chat, which was absolutely wrong. And maybe he got this idea also wrong way. Maybe he thought that was correct and he did not intentionally lie. At first, I thought he intentionally lied on that, but now I'm thinking, like last month already, I'm thinking about this. Maybe he did not really know the truth. Maybe he really thought that I was talking shit about this because some other crew members liked it. As soon as I got that information that this is the reason why he fired me, I confronted those people, like who Dexter said that I was talking shit about Dexter too, and I confronted to them, hey, when have I ever talked anything wrong or bad about Dexter with you guys? And till this day, they are silent as rock. So maybe Dexter really had the wrong information. I don't know. Saul Arrow,
Yeah.
he told Saul that he fired me because I talked shit about behind his back, which is not correct. Dexter, if you watch this very moment, this is not correct. Maybe you've been lied, Dexter. I don't know.
But publicly he said that the main reason was the way you were working on the videos and stuff. Okay,
It
since
was
you mentioned,
misunderstanding mainly.
yeah,
I also
since you,
misunderstood something. It was also my fault.
yeah, it can happen sometimes. Since you mentioned earlier that maybe by second, third reason you'll stop burning money and maybe turn profitable. I hope you do, because I have nothing against GVW or any organization. I want everyone to succeed. Just imagine if your organization becomes big, I get to make many videos about that too. So if anyone succeeds in arm wrestling, I'm going to succeed with him. So don't think for a moment that I am against GVW or any organization. I was against the idea of it. I was against the not idea. I was against the timing of it, the way it was started. I still believe it was started as a revenge against East versus West. I'm still not fully convinced that Engin Terzi is going to be a partner of GVW or partial owner of GVW as soon as his non-compete expires, which is going to expire in maybe 3-4 years. I don't know the exact time. I still think that he's going to become a partner of it, but anyways, I still want it to succeed. And initially, as many people were saying that initially maybe you guys thought that since the 27 guys are quitting or however many Europeans are quitting, now it's the right time for you to start a league. But then now you must have realized that most of them have returned back. Maybe 20 of them have returned back. So did your plan shake a little bit after that, after seeing that?
Let me tell you this very specifically towards that point. I don't know those 27. I know some names, but regardless of me knowing or not knowing, we will definitely offer matches beyond those 27 athletes. That's the first thing. And second thing is that when we were founding this event organization and planning to have an event, like we are having 16 matches right now, please tell me, out of those 16 matches, which would be 32 people, 32 arm wrestlers, and two more are pending. So 34 arm wrestlers. How many of them are from the list that includes 27 athletes? Like maybe 10% of those 16. The reason I'm saying is this: we never planned the organization to succeed because 27 athletes, so great athletes are boycotting the organization. Now it's time, perfect time to make our own organization.
I think that thought must have crossed your mind. It's difficult to
No,
believe that you
no,
didn't
like
think
I
about
said,
that.
I have never known the list of the names. I
But
knew
at
like
least
maybe five
the big names that
big
publicly
names, like
announced it:
five
Ivan
people.
Matushenko, Hermes Gasparini, Kamil Jablonski, Dadi Kian, Denis Siplankov. I can name 10 more maybe right off the top of my head.
Yeah, those fives you mentioned, because of
Reno
the public,
Masic.
I knew.
Many guys were
Reno,
publicly
Reno,
many.
yeah.
So were you like, were you not be happy? Will you not be happy?
Morozov
Were you
was
not
also there.
thinking?
Morozov was
Will
also
you,
there.
was you not were you not thinking, both you and Gennady, that since Hermes Gasparini has quit now we can invite him to GVW
No,
Sports? But
no,
now it's not
no,
working.
no, 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 no. We knew he had a contract. Like I said, we first of all we don't want any legal issues, and second of all we appreciate it that they want to pull anywhere they want, especially Hermes. And I'm not even talking about Levan. He is number one. He will determine conditions, not the other way around. Hermes, he's number three, number four. He, wherever he wants to pull, he needs to pull, and we will never offer Hermes, hey Hermes, your contract is now done with East versus West. Now it's time. We are suggesting this. Now you have to be our contract better. No, we will say if you want to make a contract with us, make sure that you will be pulling everywhere, wherever you want, and we will financially support you throughout the preparation period. This is key points of our contracting. So we would never catch athletes as unfortunately many other leagues are catching. We shouldn't prohibit. This is outdated in my opinion. Like pay-per-views are outdated in my opinion. And also, like exclusive contracts is getting outdated. Maybe I'm talking too ahead of the times, and maybe like time will prove me in 2 years. But exclusive contracts are bad for athletes. And as Devon said, there is no league guaranteed to succeed in the long run. Athletes will be the one who will continue to be promoting the sport. And if athlete is free, then whatever organization is using that athlete to get the pay-per-view or just to get the views is also successful. So first of all, we'll make sure that athletes are satisfied, they are free, and they are financially supported, and then we will think about making our organization well worldwide.
Yeah, speaking of finances, can you publicly answer how much will you be spending on this event, and where the money is going to come from?
I believe this is quite accurate. Maybe we are already surpassing 100K. I need to, because there are several things. Like I said, for example, I already mentioned it at the beginning of this live stream. There are three pending sponsorships that will heavily influence how much this event will cost. And the number that you are bringing up right now is um, like what we are paying to athletes is more than that number there. So if let alone that is already costly, right? But we have support from I already said it from Gennady's sister. She has a big business years already. Gennady himself is rich, or how can I say? I mean, I should not say rich, but I'm saying that he has financially well standing, and
I can understand.
I also know how to take uh, dozens or even 100,000 USD loans from the bank when I have real estate background. And Georgian banks that I own, I have two, I had three, but one is cancelled. Have I have good background for banks, so bank will trust me, and I've been paying, and bank knows and stuff. So it's easy to invest money when you are not depending on gaining everything back. So I think that's how also Engin started. Engin started with the fans' support. He never had the money, and slowly, he got successful when business started to return him. We are not focused on becoming getting money as soon as possible. This is not the right approach. No, we need to support the sport to grow and athletes to become
Uh,
very. I agree.
I would say, brother, your approach is also not the right approach. Speaking against money, like money is a very good thing. It's the basic need for any organization to survive. We
I
used to
never
hear
said we don't
similar.
need money. When did I say? I said we
I
already
never
had
I
enough.
never said that you said you don't need money. I also didn't say
What
that.
do you mean? I
But the
said I
thing
speak
is,
negative with money.
yeah, but your this was mentioned in the that post which we just screen shared a moment ago as well, and now you're all again saying that we are not focusing on money right now. And I will answer this one more time, that I don't think you can be profitable now, even if you focus on the money, even if you organized only 8 matches, let's say. I still don't think you'll be profitable. So it's like an easy way out saying that we are not focusing on money right now, when you know that you cannot
Yeah, I understand.
make money, you cannot be profitable as of now. So I
Which
just
I
think that
agree.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like money should be, I would say, one of the top 3 priorities for you moving forward, and there is nothing negative about it. Even Engin used to say right from day one that he's going to stop organizing if he loses money on this. I think he must have forgotten it or whatever, because then later on he also kept on saying it was never about the money. And I was like, bro, you, every time East versus West 4, 5, 6, every time you organized and you were live ranting to people. You must remember, Engin was always mad after those events when he was going live. Like, he was always crashing out right after the event
Mhm.
ended, and he was always threatening, I'm going to stop organizing if it is not, if I lose money. And then in the other breath he says that it's never about money for me. Okay, maybe it's not about
Mhm.
making too many profits, but still, even Engin didn't want to lose a single dollar organizing East versus West, and that I don't think he ever did, except for just one event, as per his own words. So
According to
yeah,
him, it was, I think, only one event that he
yeah, only one event, yeah.
lost.
So yeah, you should also, I think you should stop saying that you are not money oriented. You should be money oriented, in my opinion.
We,
And
yeah,
I hope
it's not
you
like
guys make a
center
lot of
based.
money.
Like, thank you for good
Yeah, make it
hobbies,
center
good
based.
wishes.
That's what I'm saying, because without money it's
Yeah.
not going to survive. Yeah, the bank is, I don't want to say it, but I hope the bank doesn't come after your real estate on which, against which you have taken that loan, because you need profit to pay the bank. Don't think that you're going to do a job again to pay back that loan.
Yeah. Okay, I will say this so that I will not see too much delusion for people. As a business guy, I see this as an investment. So when I invest into something, I have in my mind the time frame to which I will wait until I get my investment back and then start the profit. So this time frame could be 1 month, like could be 2 months, one event, two, three, four, you know. So I will just say this and let's seal this topic. When I invest money and I am willing to lose at the beginning in order to go kickstart the chain reaction that will generate money in future, and then I will get my investment back in months later or specific amount of time later. I would say this is still okay approach, and this is the reason why I'm saying that we are not money oriented at the beginning. So we are expecting to lose money at the beginning, but we are doing this for good intentions for the athletes and also for you, who is a big part of the arm wrestling community, and also fans who are watching.
Okay. So you said Gennadi's sister is one of the sponsors. I think people are disagreeing with this part. Nobody is believing that. But as a, let's
He
just
asked me
not
not to
focus
share.
about,
He asked me not to share what type of business she owns. I mean, it's a
yeah.
private thing. I cannot speak on
For
her behalf.
I can understand a part of it. If like Gennady, if a brother is genuinely investing into something, then family members can try to help them out. I don't find it really difficult to
It's also
believe
a
as,
cultural thing. Maybe
yeah,
in
cultural thing.
Western
Yeah,
side, in Western
I
side,
can
it is not that easy to understand.
I can
Here, it's
totally
very
relate
easy.
to that.
Yeah,
100% I can relate to that.
yeah.
Yeah, but it still can be a little bit difficult if that sister is married. Then it can be still be a little bit
I
difficult
cannot
difficult.
make any comment on that one.
Yeah,
What I
yeah.
can say is that like when investor has, let's say, investor has uh, like circling money of his all like network, like 100 million, and invests, let's say, 100,000 in something. If he loses that 100,000, it's not too much, especially if that person is investing this to help uh, its own relative, its own brother, sister, or maybe husband or wife or whatever. So maybe this is also reason behind why she is helping us, helping Gennady first, because Gennady is the CEO. As she's sister, and in Georgia, it's super easy to understand when family members are helping each other this much.
So if the total amount spent is, let's say, $100,000 on this first event, you both are 50% owners, then are the expenses, can you share that? Are the expenses also going to be split 50%?
I cannot share that one without asking Gennady because as I'm not the only guy. If it was only me, obviously I can speak very freely here. I still
Okay.
have to, restrain myself. I'm sure time will come and we answer all the questions, but I'm hoping that this live stream is also helping people to understand
No,
more.
these things, they don't even need to be mentioned. I was just asking because I was curious, and it's totally up to you whether you want to answer it. I don't think there has to be a time when you need to publicly reveal how much money you are spending and how much money Gennady is spending. The fans don't care about that if and when the league starts working. But if it fails, then I think people will be asking these questions more. Rome, okay, that's a question. Paul, would you trust Roman more if he publicly condemned Engin and cut all professional ties with him? There were a
I
couple
have
of
no
comments like this
professional
before as well.
I have no professional ties with Engin Person. Let me be clear. So there's nothing to cut there.
People are saying if you speak against Engin, then you'll find more support in the arm wrestling community. Are you willing to do that if you want to
It
the fans
depends.
to?
Depends the subject. Let's make specific example. And if I have to say the truth, I have to say the truth, and I will say the truth. Let's bring some specific subject then, because I have nothing in my mind right now that comes that I can speak negative on English behalf. That's why I've been working with
Banning
Engin.
people? Come on, man! I can list 10 things if you want.
Okay, let's
Maybe,
go.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk negative about Engin Person.
Yeah,
Let's go there.
banning people. What are your thoughts about that? Are you also going to be like blocking 50% of
No,
50%, at least 50% of comments on your
no.
GVW channel like
I
Engin?
like I like freedom of speech. I like when people, and we already don't do this. We don't have anyone blocked, and we don't delete comments. This is my approach, and I even already commented GVW's first or second video where Gennady is talking from the car. uh, Anybody can check it right now in the comments. I commented, said that somebody was asking, are you also gonna uh, delete the comments or something along those lines? And I said no, I will not. I said not I said word we, as in, because I was writing as an organization's YouTube channel. So I said we will address them directly. This is what I said. I would love to guy has a negative comment there and answer that one right away, as soon as possible. By the way, before others reply to that guy, than just delete it. I would rather just prove my point throughout that guy's negative comment. This is one of the good things that I loved about you, your approach when you started your YouTube channel. You were open to criticism. You were constantly saying in almost all of your videos that you are welcome to be corrected and you will try to learn from it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember, and I liked it very much. And this is good approach. I don't think you should be blocking people, but I cannot also disprove it and say, "Hey, man, this is a wrong thing to do." It's not like illegal. It's not criminal. It's not immoral to block someone. If you are bothered by someone's presence, you are allowed to block. But I don't share the same mindset. So this is what I could say on that one. I
Yeah,
share
there can
more
be.
mindset towards that one with you than with them. So yeah, I would love to answer them right then and there directly, rather than just delete and then that guy will say, "Hey, I had the comment, now he deleted," and then somebody else will say, and then tens, dozens, hundreds of people will, spin this heavily.
Okay, so
Maybe there's another example
the
to talk
payment.
negative on Lengi. I'm willing to continue, or just it's your show, run it however you want.
I think we should not. We can get into many things if you want. Like, but I think it will take a lot of time. Trust me, when I said 10, I can genuinely name 10 things if I think a lot.
Well,
Five
I have
things
no
without
reason
even thinking.
to no reason to doubt you. Now maybe because like
Yeah,
blocking thing, like I said, I have different views on that one.
yeah. So payment, about the payment thing, like not the I asked the matchmaking thing. You said you both are doing that. Which athletes get paid how much? Who has the final say on that? Is it you or is it Gennady?
Uh well, like legally, I cannot outsay Gennady because he is CEO. He is general director. I'm deputy. So what I can say is that I can heavily influence on his mind, and I can say, hey, cannot, we cannot go this direction. We need to go that direction, right? But final say has Gennady because he is, even though we have 50-50, somebody has to be director, somebody has to be officially the owner of the organization, and it's Gennady. And then I another 50, it's me. Because idea was coming from both. When I approached Gennady, he said, I was willing to do it. Years, let's go.
So, will you be, again, another thing, since you mentioned, will you be putting copyright strikes on people's channel when they speak against you?
Copyright strike on people's channel. Copyright strike. Okay, let's say your channel is saying something bad and I can copyright. How can I copyright strike even if I want it? I don't
No,
think I
maybe
can.
maybe they've used some clips in the past from GVW videos, matches, and stuff like that. And you had no problem with those. You had no problem with those clips back then, but since
Reuse
the guy
material.
now, yeah,
I think it's called reuse material, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, like I mean, when you speak, even if you speak negatively, if I'm smart, that puts more clicks on me. That kind of does some advertisement. Well, I mean, I know it could be negative, but it depends. It really depends. What are you saying there? But I don't think I would just strike. I would just message you directly because if it's you, if it's someone else that I don't know, I will try to approach. First, I will try to approach anyways. I will not just strike. No,
Yeah,
I don't
I think
feel. I didn't even know this person.
copyright striking right away around the time of pay per view is the right decision. Even in my mind, like when the event is just going on and people are already publishing videos, or maybe even 2, 3, 4 days after the event, at that time it's the perfect thing. Anything after that is just free publicity in my mind, and people shouldn't be going after that.
What
Yeah,
like if I'm making it pay per view and you are somehow free live streaming, it's a piracy. It should be strictly struck.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
I'm
That's what I
making
was
it
also saying.
free, if I'm sharing it free, but it's exclusively, so I made a contract with the sponsor that it's exclusively gonna be free for its platform, and somebody else is also streaming. I think I would also be striking or taking measurements against it, but not just because you mentioned something bad or just used a couple images.
So right now, East versus West is still in good standing with WAF, World Arm Wrestling Federation, and you must also be in good standing with them, because without WAF, what they are trying to do, it still may be possible because they have many arm wrestlers from the Western side too. For you, it may be difficult. Like, what if East versus West tries to approach WAF by saying that these are our enemies and we are allies with you, and GVW Sport should be banned from WAF, or if they try something like that, how are you going to counter that?
That would really disappoint me if they go there. Uh, First of all, they would disappoint me because, like I said, I really don't want to go down to that path where we are just rival organizations. We shouldn't be. Uh, First things first, like I said, one organization, no matter how successful it is, cannot be enough. Take it UFC example. UFC is very successful, but they are not the only one. So one, this is just to be clear. In my mind, they are never gonna be enough for all the arm wrestlers. And arm wrestling is growing, and even more Indian people, even more Georgian people, even more Russians, and many other nations. More and more people are trying to become arm wrestlers. That's what I love about this sport. It's growing. One will not be enough. Maybe we will not even two or three will be. So I cannot see that. Oh man, East versus West is doing so successful, and why are they against me? I would be disappointed, but let me make it clear. We already talked to WAF officials. We are making sure that we also know that if we want to let arm wrestlers shine, most of them coming from WAF organization, and we respect that. If it was some other organization, then we would maybe we would think differently. But now it's crystal clear for us that many athletes from many nations, they love WAF. They go there and try to compete there, and once they reach something there, achieve something, and they would love to maybe do super matches there because WAF doesn't have super matches, right? So one. like we cannot go against WAF in that terms that majority of arm wrestlers who we want to make popular and shine are coming from there, and if they appreciate WAF, we cannot just go against their wishes and say no, you have to choose either WAF or us. So I think EBW has the same approach. I believe that they know that they cannot just make arm wrestlers choose between WAF and themselves. And if they say that you have to choose between us and GVW, and I would be disappointed. I know what people will choose, but I know that number of people who will choose GVW will be eventually in majority, and I don't want to go down to that road.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair thing. And you invited. So I'm not sure how it worked out, but Chetna from India is also competing there, and Engin never invited any of the Indians at East versus West. However, like I believe Chetna can easily be top 10 in the world in her weight category. I believe so. So I think if you're top 10 in the world, you should be getting a chance. Like Engin invited Derek Smith. Like Derek Smith is a nobody at world level. Like he is
Yeah.
nowhere close to top 10 in his weight category. Like not even in like tested or untested events anywhere. So is there any criteria, like if somebody wants to compete in GVW sports, what do they need to do, where do they need to win and prove themselves,
Mhm.
and who do they need to contact?
Oh man, I'm enjoying the show. First of all, I liked that we already started qualifications. Like there's one already event, one match for this event that is qualifier match, and there will be several others. So this is the first thing. If we are not approaching the athlete, if athlete approaches us and wants to compete, and we think that this athlete has not proved himself yet or herself yet to compete at GWW level, we would offer them qualifiers. And once they win qualifiers, like Eastwest was used to do during Engin's time and even now, I think that's a good approach. If you win qualifiers, okay, you are qualified to pull and compete as a super match. So qualification match would be the first thing to go and do if you are not approached by us. If we approach you, it means okay, we may also approach and say, hey, we suggest you to go to qualifiers. That could also happen, but usually when we approach athlete to make a super match. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. We already have qualification going, which will be prior to the event, and then they can
Yeah.
advance.
In the Matt Rhodes interview, Matt discussed that, and you also said that when they discussed your comment that you posted from the GVW channel, it looked like you are not going to be inviting any strongmen or any celebrity kind of matches. That's what I was also getting from that. Although Matt made one comment which I disagree with, in that he was mentioning Akimbo as a non-arm wrestler or as a influencer kind of guy. Akimbo is a multiple times youth, not youth but junior WAF world champion. Like how do you classify that guy
But
as
he
as
restructured then the question. Let's be fair to
yeah,
him. He
yeah, and
restructured.
and I don't like it when people say that about Schoolboy too. The guy has been arm wrestling since he was born. He was the under 23 WAF world champion in the super heavyweight category, and people say he's just a YouTuber. He's a nobody. He's not an arm wrestler. Like a guy who's been arm wrestling since the day he was born, probably maybe even like a top 50 super heavyweight in the world. Not top 50, but let's say a top 100 guy for sure, guaranteed in the world. Like you're top 100 in the world in the super heavyweight. And there are people out there saying that you're not an arm wrestler. Come on, man. If Schoolboy is not an arm wrestler, then who is an arm wrestler? If Akimbo is not an arm wrestler, then who is an arm wrestler? He's also been arm wrestling since, like, maybe he didn't even enter his teenage years, and he's multiple times like a junior WAF champion. Like, I don't get these comments. People so casually say these days like he's not an arm wrestler. He's just a celebrity.
But then Gennady answered Matt's question when he reformed the question for me because it's also we are definitely gonna welcome them, but it will be more like a celebrity match something if they are not pulling professional athletes, right? So we are definitely welcome to anyone to pull, but it depends. Maybe they will qualify, maybe they not, maybe they will have one celebrity match, or maybe they will have professional super match. We will see.
I think I've asked all of the questions that I had in my mind, and most of the questions that the viewers also had in their mind. Do you want to say anything to the viewers about GVW right now? I think you also must admit that there is a lot of negativity going around your name, negativity going around the league which you have started, and I would also be really happy if I can somehow help that negativity to end. I also want people to
You are helping already.
support your league, purchase the pay per view. How can we do that?
First of all, like I said, I just said it. You are already helping by doing what we are doing right now as we speak. This is very good sign in my mind from your side to proceed future. Uh, we, like I said, we need to earn respect. I personally have to earn it because maybe not majority of people who dislike me have really reason and know why they dislike me. If I really push them, hey, one on one, uh, why do you dislike me? What have I done bad? But even if they have a reason, and even if I find that reason okay, which I don't think I will, then I need to redeem myself. It will take me efforts. It will take me time. It will take me transparency. It will take me to be me, like true myself, and show my intentions. I get it that I have been behind the scenes and doing the work that I know that how much work I have done. Only you know how much work you have done behind the scenes, right? Even though you are publicly more well-known figure than I am in arms. So I get that is a key crucial point where people, so many negative comments emerged around me. Now I'm talking about my personal thing. So I get that. I agree that people have a reason to suspect some things going on, and just because I sided with Engin when I had my own dignity and own, uh, how can I say, principles to choose, many people will not understand that, and I agree. I understand this. So I will take my time and let my work prove if I'm willing to, if you are willing to give me your respect or not. Let my work prove it.
You know why people were saying that speaking negatively or against Engin might help you in the long run, and I kind of agree with that because if I'm in your place right now, I'm calling Engin immediately and I'm saying, telling him, brother, your name somehow, even though you are not associated with us, is dragging us down. People are hating GVW as of now, primarily for one reason. It's because they think that Engin has something to do with this league. They're not hating you, Roman. They're not hating Gennady for the most part, I'll say.
For the
If
most
there
part.
was no association, like guessed by people that Engin is somehow involved in this, I would say the hate that you guys are getting, maybe only 25% of that will be left. There still will be some hate because you also left East versus West. Gennady also kind of left East versus West, even though he was a contracted athlete. He started his own organization. So you are going to get that hate. But 75% of that hate will be gone as soon as and you are able to like completely prove that Engin has nothing to do with that. Even when you asked Gennady, he didn't share anything with us. He didn't even let us know where we can check it publicly. You didn't tell us where we can check it publicly that you guys are the real owners of
Uh,
the
after
league.
after that thing, he messaged me 2 seconds of voice mail, but constantly I'm trying to be respectful, and I just did not hear it. If you may, if I may, I will just hear what he messaged me. It was unfortunately it was a voice message, so I could not read. I only have to hear it, and I will just try to hear it now and then let
Yeah,
you know.
I agree with Matt here that there are many champions, many WAF champions. Even I said the same point when people were referring to Neil Pickup as the legend of arm wrestling. I was like, how is Neil Pickup a legend? If you're combining everything that he does, announcing, matchmaking, commentary, and arm wrestling, then of course he's the legend of arm wrestling. But if you're just saying Neil Pickup is a legend of arm wrestling because of his arm wrestling skills, then no, you're completely wrong. Neil has won like 2 WAF gold medals. There are more than 1,000 people who have won 2 WAF gold medals. So there cannot be 1,000+ legends in the sport. So I get this point, but just to answer this, I'll say that there was a point where under Akimbo's weight and under Akimbo's age, there was no one in this world who could have beaten him. That should classify as you as a real arm wrestler and not just an influencer. I'll just say that much. If nobody below your age and if nobody below your weight can beat you in this world, you are a real arm wrestler, my friend. There is just no other way around that. Yeah, so yeah, you, maybe you should clarify this. Now, right now we don't have the time, but you should clarify this. Maybe post a screenshot of that website wherever you can check that you guys are the real
Yeah,
owners. Make a
Gennady told me that he will send me. He doesn't have it right now. Where
share. You can share that with me. My If I post it on the community page in my video, that will get more views. I if I can help you that way, I will for sure. I would for sure like to help you.
thank you, thank you. I
Okay,
will.
brother. My final question before we end this interview in next 1 minute. Can you promise us that few years later or sometime later when Engin's non-compete expires, we arm wrestling fans who want to trust you, we are not going to suddenly hear that Engin Terzi has now suddenly bought a part of a percentage of GVW Sports? Will it happen or will it not happen? Because even if, I'm telling you, the problem here is even if it happens, then let's say for the first 4 years, Engin has nothing to do with it. But as soon as his non-compete expires, since Gennady is good friends with Engin, since you are good friend with Engin, then you approach Engin or Engin approach you, and then you guys are like, okay, your non-compete has expired, the legal contract obligation is over now. We would like for you to join as a partner in GVW Sports, or maybe Engin says that. And then Engin becomes a partner, even though he had nothing to do with you guys in the first 4 years. Still, everyone in the arm wrestling community is going to say, see, we told you that Engin was the owner of this thing right from day one. So that can be a risky move, because in that Matt Rhodes interview, you were saying a couple of times, and I carefully listened to
I
your words.
remember I said, yeah.
You were saying for now Engin has nothing to do with it. It's like you're already expecting him to join your league as soon as
It's like I left the door open and I
Yeah.
said that he's welcome.
I think
Okay,
you should
I'll
you should tell the fans that the door is shut. You should discuss with Engin. You should ask him, brother, just genuinely ask him that your name, and if he gets mad, then he's not a real friend, my friend. If he gets mad at this question, then he's not your friend. You should ask him that this, brother, your name is dragging GVW Sports down. Help us. How can we tell people that you are not a part of it, or what should we do? If he gets mad, then he's not a friend. If he gives you some good advice, then you should follow it.
Yeah, good, very good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have perfect answer to it. Um, Let me quickly answer that. Clarify what I said to the metros a couple times. Like you said, I left the door open because I cannot say for sure that something after 10 years, 15 years, 5 years later will happen. I cannot say for sure. What I can say is that I left the door open, that I said he has nothing to do with us yet. What I mean by that is that he may have something to do with us. For example, if people are not okay with Engin, let's say Engin is driving car of me and other professional athletes, and if Engin serves my league as a car driver, for example, he's doing something for my league, right? He has something to do with me. If people are not okay with that, we need to clarify this right now, right? If people are completely not okay with Engin having doing anything with me, then I need to know it now to answer that question. If people say, "Oh no, no problem," if Engin is just a taxi driver for you guys, that's okay. If people are okay with that, then I cannot say that Engin will have nothing to do with me. Engin will definitely have something if he's my taxi driver for my or Uber driver for my athletes, right? So that's why I left the door open, because then I know in 10 years people may just come back and say, "See what we told you." So I could not claim that Engin will have nothing to do with this. But what I can tell you, this was the first part. So second part is, I promise you, I know Engin. There is no way that he will, even 5 years later, 2 years later, 10 years later, he will approach me and say, "Hey, Ronald, I want to purchase some part of it, or I want to have some type of share of the organization." There is no way he will ask me. And even if he asks me, I promise you guys, I will not have, I will not let Engin to have any share percentage wise of my and Gennady's organization, because I know what you explained makes total sense, and his name is affecting negatively. But it's not. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's misunderstanding's fault. He could have said many things that he didn't say publicly against other side, and that's why, because of his being calm and saying not many things against the other side, led him to be hated so much. So maybe he's partially unintentionally his fault as well. But I promise you guys, I will make sure that Engin will not buy any shares of East versus West. But if Gennady is the owner, I will tell Gennady, hey, Engin should not own anything. Like he has no interest. He has nothing to do with this. Why on earth he all of a sudden wants to buy anything? So no, even if it's 10 years later. But like I said, I know for sure he will not ask for this. He said, "Leave me alone." He already told me this personally months ago. Like I said, we approached, asked about matches, like before I knew that uh, he did not want to do anything with arm wrestling anymore. And once I got to know that, I respect that person. So I said, okay, Engin, I will just leave you alone. And Gennady obviously not gonna message him because I am the third guy between him and whenever Gennady wants to ask him something. But we haven't haven't contacted him like months, I think, or maybe a month and a half, and neither did I. So like, I don't want to bother that guy. He has done, I think, enough for arm wrestling. He can rest now, watch arm wrestling and enjoy it, or do whatever he likes. Yeah, this is all I can say.
Okay, brother, thank you very much. I wish you guys best of luck. I'll try to. I was busy, very busy for last couple of months, so I couldn't, not couple of months, but last 1 month, I couldn't really upload many videos. But for your event, I'm kind of having the time. I'll try to promote it as much
Thank you
as
very
I
much.
can, with just one expectation that I don't find out later that Engin Terzi was the owner
No,
of
no, no,
GEW.
no.
And please,
I
please,
am
please share that.
responsible.
Please share that link with
He
me.
doesn't know anything.
I'll post it on my community tab where it shows that Gennady and you are the only
Yeah,
owners as of
yeah.
now. Best of luck, brother. When are you going to announce the pay-per-view link and price?
Like I said, first we are taking care of the tickets, live tickets that people can attend and buy. We already sealed the deal with the venue. It's gonna be a Olympic Tbilisi Sports Olympic Palace. It's like the new building. There are two sports palaces, and this one is the newer one, and it has good capacity and it fits our conditions. And we first take care of the tickets thing. I think should be already maybe the end of this week already, or latest the next week in working days. And after that, then we will, as soon as seal the deal with pay-per-view thing, we will also, because I know people are eager to know. Many people are commenting, asking, DMing us in Instagram, TikTok. They are messaging us on TikTok as well. So yeah, we will address on that as soon as possible. Yeah, like I said, it could be for free, you guys, but some necessary steps has to be taken.
Yeah, Matt Rhodes posting this comment. I think he was talking about talking with someone with about me, or Matt always has a weird problem with me. Like I've seen in multiple of his comments ask me to confirm from him about talking about something, but then I message him and he replies like 5 days later. So Matt is in some aspect a weird guy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And I'll see you again.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Roman.
for having
Bye.
me and inviting me. I hope to see
Bye.
you very soon.